see you raise your hand, so you can just speak your question. I don't think that'll be too disruptive. So this orientation is for presenters and class managers, and this is for the on-campus courses. Rob Cohen will be working individually with the Zoom presenters and class managers who are using the Zoom technology. So this is just for on-campus courses. And of course, today's session is at 11. We're all here. And then I'll be repeating this program on September 11th, Wednesday at 4 p.m. And
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? So you're saying that this session that you're doing is only for on-campus courses?
yes, that is
Oh,
correct.
so I'm teaching a Zoom. Okay.
Oh, then you don't need to,
I don't need to be here. Oh,
yep.
but the note we got said there were 2 orientations. It didn't make a distinction between on-campus and Zoom. So,
Okay. All
so
right.
goodbye.
Okay,
Goodbye.
goodbye. Good luck. Okay. All right. So then we'll proceed. Let's see here. All right, and I first want to thank Marjorie and Rosales. So the process that we've implemented the last semester or two is to make phone calls and to confirm with people before I send out the emails that you have indeed indicated an interest to be a class manager, and we tell you the name of the course. So that has saved a lot of work down the road, because sometimes we've made, well, what we were doing is making the assumption if you click the box that you wanted to do it. And then we would find out right before classes started that that was an error. So we've been doing confirmation phone calls, Marjorie Groton and Rosales Diavenzo, and it's much appreciated. And I just wanted to acknowledge their contribution. All right. So this information, the PowerPoint slides will be put on the website for you. I'll show you that. We're doing a recording of this, as I already mentioned. There are on-campus guidelines that we're posting online, and the Zoom guidelines are there as well. So where would you find this stuff if you needed to reference it? So I'm going to go over kind of a live demonstration when there's a little bit of a period to do that as the presentation moves along. Basically, because I'm not so good going back and forth and navigating this, but this is the home page of the LLI, which I'm sure looks familiar to you. And if you go down on the left, you will see towards the bottom information for presenters and class managers. On the website, this will be a live link and you'll click on it, and that is where all of this information will be housed. And again, I said that I will do a live demonstration of that as we go along. Okay, so on Fridays, there will be on-campus tech support. And about a few minutes before our class started today, Mihai sent an email for you to, for who our class, our on-campus student tech support is going to be. And so if you have a minute, I will send this in an email right after the class. But what I'd like you to do is take out your phones and put this name and number into your phone. When there's problems, tech problems on campus in the classroom, and everybody's waiting, it can become very nerve-wracking. And you are going to be glad that you have the person's name and number in your phone. So I got this, like I said, right before the class started. So I'm going to go slowly here, and I will share this information in an email. Her first name, if you have your phones ready. Does everybody have their phones kind of ready? Okay, so her first name is Etta, E-T-T-A, and last name Fontenot. I'm pronouncing it phonetically. F-O-N, T as in Tom, E-N-O-T. Etta, E-T-T-A, Fontenot, F-O-N-T-E-N-O-T, and her phone number is 213-864-7315. Again, her number's 213-864-7315. And then her email is efontenot@vassar.edu. But in real time and during a class, if you do need her help, probably easiest to call her. And the students in the past, and I'm sure she will be as well, house themselves on Friday in the hospitality room. So, and she has her phone available, and then she can just very quickly report to your classroom and help her out.
And could I just confirm the spelling of her name was that T-E-N-N-O-T or just one N?
Just one N. F-O-N, well, F-O-N-T-E-N-O-T.
Okay, thank you.
And that's
Would you repeat her email address, though?
sure. Ready? It's
Yes.
E as in Edward, F-O-N-T-E-N-O-T @vassar.edu.
Thank you.
You're quite
Mary
welcome.
Beth, can I add something to that?
Sure.
Etta,
Go right ahead.
hi. Etta will only be working on Fridays, so please do not call her during the weekend or during the week. She's really working for us only on Fridays.
Yes, thank you, Mihai. That's a good point. We've had people in the past who've contacted our student tech support during the week, and they're really not on duty or being paid for periods other than on Friday on campus. All right. Okay, so we'll move on. That's good news. We're glad we have Etta with us. And so I do want to say for the course material, I don't know how to get rid of, maybe if I click, there we go. So course materials, all course materials will be posted on the Vassar LLI's website. So that can be photos, PDF files, short films, pieces of music, hyperlinks, documents, anything. And the reason we did this is it's very difficult, well, it's not possible to send an email with an attachment using ProClass. So Mihai put a lot of work into setting this up, and let me show you. Here we go. Well, let me just, oh, all right. I'm gonna go over a live demonstration of this, but it's back on the home page and you'll see where it is, all on that left column. So we're asking you to send class materials to Mihai, and this will also include copyrighted class materials. Now, if it is copyrighted, because we have some movie classes happening, if those movies or other documents are copyrighted, they will be viewable only by those people who have signed up for that course and are given the special access code to access that material. So copyrighted materials are going to be posted behind a privacy wall. It's not like you'll see it. It's just that when you click on it, you won't be able to access it unless you have the special access code, and that will only be given to registrants for that class.
Mary Beth,
Yeah,
in addition to Mihai, because Mihai, you're going to be away for part of the semester. So Rachel Etkin is the backup for that.
okay, that's a good point. And so So either to Mihai or to Rachel. If they do send it to you, Mihai, will somehow it get forwarded to Rachel or no? Do they need to copy her as well?
For the first 2.5 weeks of classes, I will not be available. So
Okay,
um,
okay.
either send it both to us both or directly just to Rachel.
Okay, and I don't recall if I have her email here, but we'll go over that as well. I won't forget. Thank you.
One other question, Mary Beth, does this mean we're not going to use Moodle, or is this the Moodle
Right,
system?
that is correct. This system replaces Moodle. Thank you for
All right.
asking that. Okay, we implemented this last semester, and I think it'll be good.
Okay.
I think, go.
I'm sorry, Mary Beth, may I just have some clarification? This material that needs to be sent to Mihai or Rachel will be done by the instructor, the presenter of the class?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right.
So
Thank you.
all presenters out there, we want you to submit your course materials to Mihai and Rachel or Rachel. Probably best to just do it to both, and then because Mihai will be gone at the beginning of the semester.
Mary Beth, is there a time frame for that? Is that 2 weeks before it needs to be up or?
No, what do you think? I mean, the sooner the better, but what do you think, Mihai? You're the one.
I think it is not that big of a. I mean, give me some time. Do not send me something and say I want this by tomorrow morning. I need a few days to work with it, right? But that's reasonable.
Okay,
A few days.
okie dokie. So I've gone over a lot of stuff. I'd like to just, let me see if I can stop this sharing. This is always when I get a little nervous, and I want to, and you know what? I practiced this ahead of time and you wouldn't think that I do. Hang on. I want to go here. Okay. And where's my Zoom? Here we go.
Mary Beth, just to let you know, we see all the participants. We no longer see your presentation.
I know I'm trying to just bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is what I want to see. Okay. So you can see the LLI's homepage, correct?
yes.
Okay, great. So I just want to kind of go over a few things that I talked about. Here is the link for the information for the presenters and class managers. So it's on the left side of the page down towards the bottom. Here's the information about the orientation. And then Friday we'll have the tech support with the pizza party following. And we will replace the last year's video with this year's video. You could click here. This is for Zoom classes and offsite classes. And then I'll go over that in a minute as we go down. And then here's the guidelines for the on-campus classes. And this is pretty much what we're going to talk about. I'll update this with the correct student's name. But this is some of the things, if you're wondering like, oh, what am I supposed to do? This would be, here are your duties right in here, which we're going to go over. But we put this on the website for easy reference. And then I wanted to also show you, we spoke about the current course semester materials and forwarding them to Mihai and Rachel. So you would, to view it as the student or registrant, you would go to this link. And then here are the materials that have been provided thus far by the course materials. So when you look at film, you will see that this is a password protected because it has copyrighted material. So if you are the course manager for, I think Celia, you're the film history class manager. So you will be given the password to enter this, and then you can share that. You would share that password with your course registrants. And then
Can I just squeeze in a question about that?
yes.
So I would share that in the email I send out through the class roster?
Yeah.
Through a
Mhm.
okay.
Yep. Yep. All righty. And then here is psychology of literature, and this goes on. You can see she's putting what she's going to talk about. And let me see, this one has, this instructor has posted a lot of links. So it gives you an idea of the variety of information that can be posted and accessed by the registrants. Any questions on that?
Yes, I've got a question for Mihai. In the past, when I've tried to send out copies of my presentations, I'm very, very heavy on pictures. And my Google account won't send more than 25 meg at a shot. There have been times when I've had to cut my lessons in 5 parts and send them independently, and I'm not going to do that. Is there any way, I don't know if you use Apple or if you use a PC. I'm in Keynote. Is there any way of me to do a dump with you in person where I don't have to take my presentation and chop it into pieces and send them separately?
I cannot send that out myself, but I can post it on, create a page for your class and post it there, and people can download it from there.
I'm
But
talking about the process of me getting it to you. All right.
just
Rob-
send the whole thing, and it's gonna go through.
That's the problem.
Okay,
Robert, can you convert it to a PDF file? Have you done that? Because that would make it much smaller.
PDF makes it smaller, in some cases not small enough. You're right. I'll talk to you when I see you at the hospitality room. I'll show you what my problem is. But it means dividing it up and sending 5 or 6 sections, and it's just a royal pain.
Don't do that.
We'll talk offline on it.
PDF can be also, the size can be reduced if it's a PDF. So
Yes.
it's much more manageable.
You might be able to use an intermediary by using Google Drive or something like that.
Or a zip file.
Yes.
Have you ever used iWorks?
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, iWorks shares big files, and it's a really nice way because in art history there's a lot of big image files, and you can share it through that. So maybe try iWorks and take a look at it.
iWorks. Okay. I'll take a look. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. And then Robert or Bob, you'll be on at Friday's tech support class, that we could maybe look at what the problem is then.
All right.
Okay, that would be good. All right. So I'm going to now go back to the program. Does anybody have any questions further on this, where things are located on the website? Current semester information, and then the information for presenters and class managers. We're going to come back to this, but that's what I wanted to share with you right now. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to go back to the presentation and share this. Okay, that went pretty good. Okay. All righty. So everybody sees a name badge?
Yes.
Okay, great. So our members have suggested that I encourage our class managers to remind people to wear their name badge. And they said for one reason, it helps to remember people's names. You might see a familiar face and then you're like hesitant to ask that person what their name is. So that was one suggestion. And also it fosters a connection. Now, to save our trees, we're asking you to reuse your name badge from last year. If you don't know where it is or you've lost it, whatever, Rachel will be at the entrance of the Kenyon Hall. She'll have a table there and she can prepare a name badge for you that day. So if you have your old one, use it. If you need a new one, you can get one that particular day, and encourage the registrants to wear them, particularly when they're on campus. That would be nice. All righty. As we are using our campus resources, part of our life safety training is we asked at the beginning of the first class that you point out where the emergency exits are, where the elevator is, and where the bathrooms are. And that would be if you're in Kenyon, and if you're in Blodgett, well, and I guess we have a few classes that are, that one room is, I don't remember where the one room is, but it's the music. But arrive a little early so that if you're not sure yourself where the emergency exits, elevator, and bathrooms are, that you can figure that out and share that with the class when it starts. And
Mary
that's,
Beth,
yep.
a comment to back you up for a second on the badges. I wasn't around last session, and I don't know if you've changed this, but it would be so much better to print the name on both sides of that badge, because many times they
It
flip
flips.
and they're useless.
Yeah. Good suggestion. I'll share that. I don't know if we can do that, but you can always write your name on the other side too.
Yep.
If
That's
that's
true.
but that is a good suggestion, because if it does flip over and you look and you can't see anything. So if we can't print on both sides, write your name on the other side. Good suggestion. Thank you. All right, so life safety, emergency exits, elevator, and bathrooms. Okay, another thing to just repeat at the beginning of the class, and I would ask, probably it makes sense to remind people at the beginning of every class, is to put your phone on silent so that it's not disruptive to the presentation. All right, that's kind of self-explanatory. And class etiquette. We don't allow in Blodgett or in Kenyon any eating in the classroom. And if you do want to bring in a drink, it needs to be in a container that's covered and has some sort of a screw top or a solid lid. So just remind people of that. Now, people have said to me in the past, you know, it's uncomfortable for me if I bring this up and tell people no eating in the classroom, drink, your container has to be covered, and they're not compliant. I don't feel comfortable being a policeman. And we're not asking you to be a policeman, but simply to let people know what the rules are. We have adults, we expect them to to comply. And if they don't, and it's a problem, then you can escalate it to our executive committee, myself, Mihai, Neela, one of the members, and we can address it with that person. But I truly have not seen this to be a problem, but I've had some people say to me, oh, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to be a policeman. It's not a policeman. We're just asking you to share what the rules of the building are. Okay, now on-campus attendance, we're going to have a box in the hospitality room The folders will be labeled and color-coded based on the time of day. And we ask that as the class manager, you go to the hospitality room, pick up your attendance sheet, and then have people sign the attendance sheet as they enter the classroom. And the reason we do that, as opposed to just sending it around after everyone has been seated, is because we don't, the limits in the classroom are around 30, 35 seats. And so if people who are not registered for that class come in and sit down, they might then take a seat of somebody who's actually registered for that class. So we do ask people to have them sign in. And then what I've done is, after everybody's seated and I've introduced the presenter, and then I'll just say, anybody need to sign in that I missed? And then now, so people have said, well, how do I handle it if somebody's not registered? And so really have to say, this is only for registered students, and we do have a drop and add period, and you can always see if you can add the course if a seat opens up. But we don't want to bump people out who have not been registered or who have registered and then can't find a seat. And then sometime before the class ends, or as the class ends, then take the attendance sheet and put it back in the hospitality room in the folder in there. And Rachel will pick that up. Rachel Etkin is our admin assistant. She'll pick that up, and then she keeps track of the attendance as we move along. So any questions on that?
No.
That's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. So the newsletter, we will ask, and this is kind of a plug towards the end of the class, the second to last week of the class. I know we have some 4-week classes. The last week is to consider announcing to the class to consider writing a paragraph for the newsletter. And these are some of the suggestions that Joe Houtham, our editor, has suggested. What did you learn? What did you like? What surprised you? Did it change how you thought or felt about a subject? And of course, pictures are always great. So if you are in a class and you're taking photos, that's always helpful to send along to her. And then here is her email address. And so I always tell Joe, I'll put in a plug. It really helps to make the newsletter very inclusive and very vibrant. Okay, so at the end of the class, you will get we do a course evaluation, and that is emailed to all course registrants by Rachel. But we ask our class managers to remind the registrants that an evaluation is coming. And that link, and the reason we do this is that link for the evaluation expires within 5 to 7 days of receipt. So there is a quick turnaround on that. And as the class ends, you can remind them, please fill out your evaluation. We'd go through each and every one of them and compile the comments. Your comments are not identified by person, but they are shared with the presenter, who really values. I've been a presenter once, and it's really nice to read them. So please take some time and fill it out and encourage the student participants. Looks like Rachel, you have your hand raised. What can we do for you?
Just a comment. I see that the link expires within 5 to 7 days. I don't remember that from in the past. So can I just make sure that that is added to the email that Rachel Atkins sends out?
Oh, that it's going to expire? Okay.
Yes.
Points that out? Okay.
I don't know that it's included in there or not, but I don't remember seeing it before.
Okay. I know it does expire.
I think it does.
Janet,
I think
what-
it has been in emails in the past.
Oh,
that
has it?
there's a-
Maybe, okay. My bad then.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? Okay. Good. All right. And so this is the content of the first email you'll want to send to your class, the title of the course. This is much of what you should have received already. And we did that in such a manner that hopefully you can copy paste from the email you received into the email that you'll send out to your registrants. You'll include the name of the course, the time, the date. I think we changed it to the date or of the course starting date, who the presenter is and their email, the class manager and your email, and what room the class will be in. And for those people who are being class managers for Zoom, they would also include the Zoom link. So this is, and this semester, we're not troubled with any holidays. So there will be class every Friday and every Tuesday. There won't be a skipped week. And we ask that you send that out prior to the course start date. Christopher, you have your hand raised?
Hi, I've got a couple questions
Uh-huh.
about the drinks in the class. Can you bring a plastic or paper cup with a cover on it?
Yes. She said yes.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And then my second question is about the attendance sheet. I do not take that home, but I leave it in the office each week. Is that how that goes?
Yes, you return it to the box that you pick it up from. At the end of the class, you return it back to that box in that folder in the
Okay.
hospitality room. Correct.
Okay. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
You're welcome. Somebody else, I said 2 participants have their hand raised. So I don't know who they are. I can't tell, but go ahead.
Nora?
Speak. Yep. Hi, Nora.
Yes, I think we do have a holiday weekend. It's the Columbus Day weekend, because when I've entered the classes I'm taking, Fridays, and there's a skipped week because of Columbus Day weekend is what I figured out. You might want to look at that.
Okay, we'll look at that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
had the same thought, because I know we're going to be away for 2 weeks, and I was pretty sure I was only going to miss 1 week of classes because
Yeah.
1 week was the Columbus Day holiday.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
Mary,
May I
sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't, you must not see it, but I have my little icon hand up. When will we receive the class or the list of registrants in the class roster?
you will be able to do that today after this class.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Beth, you said that there was an email that sent out with the information that is to be sent to each of the class rosters.
Uh-huh.
So
So
when
that would have been sent to you on Thursday, September 5th, around midday, and it would have come from an automated mail system. So it would have said Vassar.
Oh, there it comes.
trying to.
I'll let you look while I move. Can I move on?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. And okay, so we're gonna ask you to send that out prior to the course date. Okay, it's easy. ProClass does make it easy. And I am going to go over the system for doing this. So the presenters and the class managers are all provided with access to the roster for their specific course. Not all the courses, but for the course that you're the class manager or the presenter of. And by accessing the roster, you can view who's in the class, what their emails are. You can you can email an individual, some of the people, or all of the people. And the nice thing about the roster, accessing the roster via ProClass, is it automatically updates because we'll move into a drop and add course. And if somebody drops the course or adds the course, they will then get all future emails, or if they've dropped it, they will no longer get the emails. So it automatically updates. So how do you do this? These instructions are on the information for class managers and presenters. So don't worry if you can't read it or you can't copy it all down right now. So I'm going to walk you through this. This is sort of, I don't really like doing it this way, but this is the slide deck if you needed to look at how I did this when you're trying to do it live. So you're going to this is how to access the roster in ProClass. So you're going to log in with your usual name, and I've done all the work on the back end so that when you sign in now, ProClass or into ProClass, you'll now see a roster button that you wouldn't have seen previous. So you're going to click on the roster and then a calendar will show up. So you're going to have to know when your first class is or what class date it is that you're going to send the email around. So this is March 11th from last year. And then you're going to click on the roster. And this also shows you how many people are registered for that class, 30. So if you click on the roster, it will show who's in the class, what their email, their phone number is, all that information. You can elect to send an email to one person or to all. Most of the time, you're going to be sending it to all. So if you're sending it to all, you'll click on email. Then you have to pick student and then continue. And this tells you all recipients will be BCC'd. Start the subject out with VCLLI. Just that the people are looking through their emails. It's easier and quicker if we're consistent in starting out our subject with VCLLI. And then, and then you'll, hang on. And then you'll go into the body of your email. And again, what we've suggested is that you include this information, the name of the class, the time, when it starts, the presenter, and the class manager, and the room location. And just a reminder, we're having the next orientation is on Wednesday at 11, and then the tech training is on Friday at 11, followed by the pizza party at noon. Now, let me see. It looks like we have 2 people in the chat. I received an email. Okay, some people received it on the 4th. All right, if you haven't received your email, let me know.
Mary Beth?
Yep.
I checked the dates and we do not have classes on the 11th, which is the Friday before Columbus Day.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and I want to go over. I'm going to share my screen again, and I think this is the one I want. So you can look at your calendar and let's see if that's, yes, so there is a skip date in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and here are your course dates. And so let's go to the catalog. And, hang on. Let's go to course registration. That's how I access ProClass. So click here to access ProClass. All right, I'm going to, I've already logged in. You can see my name is here. And then here's the roster, because I'm going to be a class manager for a class. So I'm gonna just do a live demonstration of the screenshots that I just showed you. So you click on roster. Why is this not working? I practiced this. Oh yes, here we go. The date. All right, now the course that I am doing a class for doesn't start until the last 4 weeks. And I don't know, I think this must be because the system knows that's when my class starts. Those are highlighted red. Okay, there are 35 available seats in this class, and there are 29 people registered. If I wanted to click on, I'm hesitant to click on the roster because it shows everybody's personal information, so I'm not going to do that. But if I did, you would see everybody that was registered for that course and their email and phone number. Then you click on email. Student. I think it's pretty intuitive. And then here we go. Please, there's no template that's loaded, so just forget about that. And you'll put in here VC LLI, and then the name of your course. Then you'll go down here and you can put in the body of your letter. And so 29 people are going to get this BCC'd, and you click send, and that's it. So you're not having to use your personal email. Are there questions on that? Do you want me to do it again?
Mary Beth, does the email automatically come to the class manager's address also?
No.
It comes as because that person's in the class?
Oh, that person is in the, yes, it comes to the class manager. It does not go to the presenter. And if we did add the presenter's name, they will get an email for every course participant. So if there were 29 courses and I added the teacher's name, the presenter's name, he would get 29 emails of the same thing. So we haven't been able to figure that out, but the class manager is a registrant and they will get the email. Now, what I've done with presenters in the past that wanted to see what I sent, then I just copy pasted what I sent into just a regular email, not within ProClass, and I sent it to them that way.
So Mary Beth, the email is supposed to be sent, BC'd. So how did you do that?
It automatically does it.
It automatically does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to select it. It automatically does it.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions? Mihai?
I would like to add that you can probably not attach anything to this email.
Yes.
No attachments.
Which is why Mihai developed that other system. Because and then we had complaints, people were using their personal emails. It just kind of escalated. All right, let me see everybody. And all right. Well, some people are smiling. Some people are like, all right. Well, that's kind of it. Do you have any questions?
Mary Beth, one question about the emails. If somebody receives an email as a class member, can they respond to the person who sent the email? Will the class manager get it? They don't, right? It goes to the LLI address.
So I don't think so.
All right. I just wanted, I
Yeah.
think it comes to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had one quick question.
You know what? I'm going to write that down, Joanne. I'm going to add that. That's a good point. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
All right, as class manager last semester, I remember getting individual emails from people because when that goes out, it has my I'm pretty sure my email was in there, whether I gave it I don't mind giving my personal email because frankly, it's all over the place anyway. So, and yeah, once in a while you get hacked, but it's really difficult to keep it private in that sense. So I don't mind, and I can't remember if I put it in the initial email or if somehow it is in the system and therefore I got messages back from people in that way.
I think in order to do that, you have to copy paste all of those recipients into a send file from your own email. And then and then they have your email. I don't think ProClass gives your email, does it, Mihai?
Well, you
No, it's
said,
blind. It's blind copy. So
but
the
you
emails
did-
are not there.
But what I'm saying is that I would have put my email in that initial message.
Oh, so that they could contact you directly.
I mean, like I said,
well, that's what you told us
really
to
easy to find
do. You
people's
said we should
emails.
put our email in that welcome message.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that that's what I have done. If you're not comfortable doing it, I can't force you, right?
However, I have found out in the past that some people were not getting information. I don't know how they didn't get, how they could have known, but different communications individually from participants, which were helpful to me to respond to their questions or concerns. And therefore, that's why I didn't mind putting my email in there. Again, that's just my personal
Mhm.
Can I suggest if people are saying that they're not getting communications from ProClass, if you could let someone know that so that we can track down the problem, otherwise, they may not be getting stuff that's really important for them.
Exactly.
You can write to the Vassar LLI address and we'll get that information.
Right. And the other thing to mention also is when people say they haven't received something is to make sure that they check their spam folder. Because sometimes it's gone into that.
Right.
So
And
Go ahead.
and
I
do a
just-
search with VCLLI.
Mhm.
That's why we put that in the subject, because that helps to bring up everything has been sent.
Excuse me, Mihai, would you please explain that again?
One way of seeing everything that you've received is on your computer. Just do a search where you put VCLLI.
Okay.
And then all the emails that you were sent that included that VCLLI are going to pop right up. So you see everything that you have been sent.
Okay, thank you.
Mary Beth, I had a quick question because mine is an art history class. Do we have access to the museum?
Oh,
Let's say I want to show some of the work that's in the museum. Could I possibly go with the class?
I
Or
can
is that
answer
not an
that
option?
question. Actually, I can answer that because I work at the Loeb. So we would love to have you come visit. It would really depend. So it's kind of a multifaceted thing. If we have availability, like I would want to just make sure there weren't other courses in the galleries that you wanted to be in at the same time. It's really where our primary interest is traffic control.
Sure.
So please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my info in the chat, or if you, but I'm Amanda Potter. I'm Assistant Director of Learning and Community Engagement there.
Okay.
You can also find me on the Loeb's directory, but apotter@vassar.edu. We, love to have a heads up and just also make sure. But no, we would be delighted to welcome you. So
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. I'll be in contact with you. Thanks so much.
of course.
good.
and I just want to say thank you for getting away from using Vassar Moodle. I remember many difficulties. It was very irregular as to whether we could sign on or not. So thank
Yeah.
you for fixing that.
Yes, so thanks to Mihai, because he did that, and it was a real challenge with Moodle, so we're very glad.
And so
Okay,
Mary, one
Yes.
question. So Mary
Yeah.
Beth, so any emails during the course, just go to this system and then pull up the class roster and to send
Yep.
out each individual email
Yep.
that needs to go. Okay.
And
Thank
if
you.
you need any help, just contact me. Oh, the most important thing. So you can contact me and I'll give you a hand. However, am leaving the country September 17th and returning October 6th. So Joanne, if you want to raise your hand, Joanne, and Joanne will be covering for me. I will have that in my out of office message. I will also send you an email with her contact information. And what else did I say I was going to do? Send the email, out of office, something else, but she'll be accessible to you and helpful as well. So
Thank you.
and then I'll return.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Beth, do you often leave the country during LLI?
Sometimes it feels like that. Not intentional. Not intentional. No.
Would you please repeat the dates again? September?
So September 17th through through October 6th. Yeah. All right. Okay. So that's it on my end. Thank you so much for participating. I think we had good questions and answers. And so without further ado, we'll end this. And I wish you all a good rest of your day. Okay.
And you say there's
Thank
class,
you.
are the class rosters available now?
They're available right this minute. Yep.
You can go practice before we forget.
Yep, you surely can. Any questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Beth.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mary Beth. It was very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.